Smash that go button.
We're good for
It's that like button.
Bang that go button.
You ever heard of that? Never heard anyone say that.
Okay, ready? This is gonna be crazy.
Okay.
Do you guys have a top 5 movies?
Yes. No, never thought about that.
You've never thought about that?
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Well, I feel like
Top 5
it
movies.
changes so much because
That's okay. You
This-
watch
no,
more
this is-
movies, and
No,
this can
that's
approach your
Right.
top 5.
such a
But
hard
Rachel and I
question.
go and see a movie every single Tuesday. So
Sounds like an addiction.
every single new movie. And I swear when she's looking for a movie on Netflix, she's like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." "Have you seen this?" Yeah. So sometimes when I've seen it and I know she wants to watch it, no, that looks so good.
So you rewatch a lot of.
I rewatch a lot of movies.
I'm just
But I
like,
feel like I've just
I'm
constantly
way
watched
too
movies.
indecisive for that question.
So you just don't watch any movies. What movies?
No,
should
no,
you
I watch a lot
I'm
of.
going to bed.
No, I watch so many movies. I just can't decide which are my top 5.
Recently, I've been all over Guy Ritchie films.
Yeah. He makes fantastic films, and one of his films is in my top 5.
The Gentleman.
Yeah, hands down.
Yeah, I think it has to be in the top 5 of mine too.
Never seen
I've
one?
never seen that. I've never seen.
It should be the next movie you watch.
So
It's great.
okay,
So
Matthew McConaughey,
yeah.
probably the greatest actor
No,
to ever live.
When
He
you
is
first started
amazing.
talking, you reminded me of Matthew McConaughey.
Probably the greatest compliment I've ever received in my life. Like, you know, that question of if you could have dinner with one person in the world,
Yeah.
who would it be? And it's like obviously my wife. That's who I want to have dinner
Okay.
with. But after my wife, it's Matthew McConaughey. It's either Matthew McConaughey or Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
Gordon Ramsay.
No, they said have dinner with. You can have him cook the food for you.
You don't want to have a conversation with the guy that cooked your meal?
No.
Not really.
Not
Because what
him.
if it's like not as good as you
Wait,
thought?
wait,
it was
wait.
gonna
Have
be?
you read McConaughey's book? Like
Green Lights?
The Green Lights.
It's fantastic. Some interesting things in there, but it's great. It's
a pretty
great
good
read.
book.
It's fantastic.
So, The
Gordon Ramsay
Gentleman.
would be an interesting one.
See?
Gordon Ramsay has lived a very
He has
full life.
Yeah, he's met a lot of
Experience.
interesting people. He's resolved a lot of conflict. He's managed people. Like he'd have some tidbits that could go a
Sure.
long way.
What's
And
one
it'll
of,
be a great meal.
what's one of your other favorite movies right now?
So my top 5.
Oh, you have a 5.
Yeah, I have a top 5. Of course I have a
Okay.
top 5.
Wow.
You should all have a top 5.
Says who?
Says
Okay, never mind. Just go.
The Gentleman. Okay.
Wait, are these in order?
These aren't in order because it's hard to really rank them because they're just fantastic movies.
Okay.
The Gentleman, The Prestige, The Count of Monte Cristo.
Okay, lost me. Keep going.
The Count of Monte
I
Cristo?
was kidding. It's a good movie, but man, I've had to watch it like 4 times so it kept falling asleep.
I'm so sorry you had to watch the greatest movie ever made 4 times.
It was a good movie.
The Last Samurai.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
That's in your top 5.
That is in my top 5.
Really?
Yeah. And The Notebook. Oh. What?
I'm gonna be honest. I've only seen 2 of your top 5.
Wait, what was number 4?
The Last Samurai.
That's probably one of mine.
How
That's
dare you
maybe
put the
top 10.
Notebook anywhere near any of those other movies?
I'm going to guess you've never seen The Notebook.
I have seen the Notebook. It's just like mom saying, "You can't fall in love until you've watched Pride and Prejudice." I was like, I got done with that movie. I was like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever had to sit through by myself in a long time.
How about Mom today? Can we have some of the knots? And she gives the donut that looks like a knot. And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't order those. And the girl was like,
And then
What?
she's like, I ordered the knots. And it was the girl that mom talked to. And she goes, the knots. This poor girl at the bakery is like,
and then she brings out, Mom's like, those ones right there. And she picks up the donut. It's just an
It's an
old-fashioned
old-fashioned
donut.
donut. Looks,
Those are
it's
the knots.
Never been tied in a knot in the donut's
She's
life.
sitting right up there listening to you.
The knots.
And then she bit it and goes, I think they forgot the sugar in this.
I was gonna say the Dark Knight trilogy is one of my favorite trilogies. I love trilogies. So the Ocean's movies.
Ocean's is
No, that's not a trilogy.
There's 3.
No.
Ocean's
Ocean's
does
8
not
does
count.
not count.
No,
It
it
is not
doesn't.
part of the series. What a waste of the IP of that one.
Ocean's 8, baby.
The Ocean's movies, the Dark Knight, Rush Hour, the Rush Hour trilogy.
So you're like giving us your top 15.
Yep,
movies.
pretty much. Well, no, because I just watch all of them.
The Kingsman
3
movies?
hours. I actually haven't seen the most recent one, but I do like the Kingsman movies.
What about the Lord of the Rings?
I do like the Lord of the Rings. But
Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars. How would you rank those movies?
Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings.
What?
Really?
Just kidding. I'll put Harry Potter on there. I'm not a Star Wars fan.
Really?
No, so the question was,
What are
what
the-
would you rank those? You have to rank them.
Okay, Star Wars is at the bottom, Harry Potter's 2, and Lord of the Rings number 1.
I would do Harry Potter.
But I do
Star
feel
Wars,
kind of
then
ripped
Lord
off
of the
because
Rings.
the Lord of the Rings trilogy was the thing when we were young. Whereas I feel like if I would have been in college when Lord of the Rings trilogy came out, I'd be a much bigger Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
fan.
you'd be a freaking nerd, bro.
Yeah, I would have read the books.
Well, you just gave your ranking.
Yeah, I do Harry Potter, Star Wars, then Lord of the Rings.
Have you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
How sure are you with making that decision?
I'm like 100%.
Okay.
What's yours?
I'm not saying Lord of the Rings is bad. It's just
Kinda
at the
bar.
bottom. No, it's at the bottom of the list of those.
If you're putting it under Star Wars, you're saying it's bad.
Wait, you
Star
guys
Wars
don't
isn't
like Star
bad.
Wars?
I don't like
Star Wars is okay.
It's Star Wars, but I might have been damaged by the most recent Star Wars movies that kind of, but then you like go back and watch the really old ones that have a semi like good story, but it's so old that it's like, this is not pleasing.
It's hard to
me
watch.
visually.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah. So
Can't
that's
believe you guys.
that's my issue.
Yeah, I think Star Wars is kind of bad.
I think it's great. But my top 3 would be Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think
Okay,
Harry
guys.
Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, I think, are like kind of 1A and 1B. And then Star Wars is like number 2.
I just have to- I just have to-
What other series would you replace with Star Wars?
The Hunger Games.
No, I feel like you can't. Those are like the 3 classic ones.
I'm like, no way. He was just serious about the Hunger Games up there.
No, you're right. I don't think there is any.
What if you get?
that could-
Yeah,
I
but
think,
it's,
like,
it's
if you
not a
take-
classic. But what if you put John Wick in there?
John Wick is probably
That's at the top.
I mean,
for
as
me.
far as sales go, if you count the Avengers as
Oh, Avengers.
like
That's
not
pretty good.
every superhero movie, but purely the Avengers. Was there 4 of them, technically?
Yeah. Because
Age of Ultron's the first one, or the second
no,
one.
no, second.
second one.
It's Avengers, Age of Ultron, then Infinity War, and then Endgame.
Yeah,
whoa.
because then they
You're
realized
missing one. Just kidding. You're not.
Civil
That's a
War.
Captain
I always think
America
Civil
movie.
War is Avengers, but it's Captain America.
Uh,
Yeah.
Do you want to
Awesome
react to this
guys.
movie this video that's the 100 movies of this decade?
100.
Go like the first 5.
It goes pretty quick. It's like boom, boom. It's just those titles.
Stop after the first 5.
Okay.
Wait, doesn't it count down?
Oh, is it starting at 100?
I'd guess it starts at the top.
Actually, I don't know.
Skip to 50.
I just opened it, so I don't really know. I don't even know how to play it.
Oh, I totally screwed up my top 5. This is why I was asking the question. We're not really like.
You
Very
forgot
critics,
Barbie.
Shut up. So I was trying to think like of questions that would be fun to answer and talk about, but also have like real meaning, right? A movie that has a movie that has recently entered my top 5, because I think about this often. Obviously, I need to start writing it down so that I don't whiff it like I am right now. But have you guys ever seen About Time? Rachel McAdams.
No.
Wait.
No.
When I tell you I've never cried harder in my entire life, I'm being completely honest.
Really?
Dude, Kaylee and I watched it together, and it's definitely because like we have kids, we have a family, and it's like just that movie slaps.
Okay.
It slaps you right in the face. Of, like,
Okay.
it's like so meaningful, but yeah, that's definitely my top 5 right now. Just the premise of the movie is his dad, the main character's dad, comes to him and says, son, I have to tell you about this gift that all of the men in our family have. We can travel in time. And the kid's like, no way. Into your closet, think of a time, and then you will appear in that time. And all you have to do come back is go back to a dark place, like a closet or a room with your lights off, and you'll be back in where you're at. And so this guy lives his life time traveling, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. Have you seen it, Bethany? I thought that was gonna be the moment that we pull you into the podcast. Oh my gosh! If you're not ready, don't watch it. If you're ready to like really be hit and rethink your entire life and your relationships,
So that's how I know if I'm ready.
I mean, you don't have to be ready. Just watch. Just watch the movie. Watch it with Rachel though, and if you guys don't cry, I'll be so pissed. I will just really have to.
Have you ever seen Rachel cry?
Pause this freaking thing.
Pause it.
So
pause it.
this is backwards because.
This has to be towards the bottom of the top 100.
But you heard about the conspiracy with this one that relates to the Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, where they said
conspiracy,
it's
right?
because the
So the whole idea behind the Taylor Swift thing was the conspiracy is if you search Taylor Swift jets, you're not gonna be pulling up how she ruins the environment with her jet. It's her at the New York Jets football game.
Frozen had to do with them freezing Walt Disney, right?
Yeah, so there's like some conspiracy that Walt Disney was frozen before he died. And so people were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But Disney made a movie called Frozen so that when you search
Disney
Frozen, Walt Disney Frozen, you're just going to get a bunch of this freaking annoying movie that I wish was never
I
created.
thought
I'm telling your daughter.
You thought I was trying, what?
didn't you get your daughter into it? Or?
Aren't you
No.
going to be Sven for Halloween?
No, I did not. I actually don't know who freaking got my daughter into this. Or
Well,
whoever
the way
did.
this is going, though, actually, it sounds like 100 is going to be the best.
Yeah.
Oh, fire.
So those two movies should not be next to each other.
This one was way better.
Way better.
Way less sales, though. After this, we'll
Really?
pull up the list
Oh,
of the top
obviously.
100
No
grossing
way.
movies of the decade. And
So go to like.
the video is only 7 minutes long, so it's going to whip through.
Okay, good.
You guys heard the conspiracy about this one that I made up?
Just barely you thought about it. I thought this movie was mad boring, actually. Because they spent
it
so
was
much time
long.
on the interrogation
It was
parts
long.
and the lady, the redheaded lady,
And
who
then
figured
jam
it
the
out.
end in.
I actually
And
don't
they're
know.
like-
I very well could not have made this. People have probably thought of this. I don't think Osama's dead.
I think he probably would have died because I'm pretty sure he was on dialysis for 5 years before we
I
caught him.
feel- I
Like he
feel
would have died
he
from
was-
diabetes, maybe.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
So I didn't. I mean,
Or
I
not
didn't pay
diabetes,
attention to
liver
that part of
failure.
the movie or that part of history class. Because
Well, that's how they found him.
The story is he gets to the very top of the stairs and he just bang bang right in the face.
Yeah.
And so unidentifiable.
True. I mean, I bet you he went into a building and shot somebody.
People
Yeah, for
sometimes tell stories a few different ways.
That is true.
It sometimes happens. It sometimes happens. So
Ask my wife. It happens, and I'm not lying. I just didn't tell the story right. Just remember
That's
it.
what
Other
I
thing.
was
Yeah. Don't discredit the second half of our podcast, Quinn. Okay, ready?
I've never seen it.
have you seen this?
I have seen this.
It's
it
so
good?
sad, and
Yeah.
it like
Is that Hugh Jackman?
it's
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, and
Well, and that's what's his name?
it's the guy that plays. He's in.
He's the guy that got fired from being
from being Colonel.
Colonel
Yeah.
Rhodes.
Yeah.
But the
I cannot
funniest,
remember
the
his name,
funniest thing about
guy.
Yeah,
this guy that they're beating up. So in
looks
Prisoners,
pretty funny.
they're like someone kidnaps
Their
their daughters. So Cuba Gooding Jr. and I don't think that's Cuba Gooding. Is that Cuba Gooding Jr.? And Hugh Jackman, their daughters go missing, and they just assume it's this guy, and so they're beating him up.
Oh my gosh! I started this movie. Rachel said it was a great movie, but I fell asleep halfway.
His name
Dude,
is
you
Terrence
have to-
Howard.
You have to
that's
watch
right.
it. Anyways, he's also in. Just keep going. Actually, I can't finish that thought. overhyped. This one.
I never
Think
even
so?
watched it.
I think people were like, "This movie is like so dark," and I'm like,
It's
It
not.
wasn't that
it's
bad.
not that dark.
"It's not that dark." I think it was a good movie.
I think his performance is phenomenal.
Yeah, but it's.
I'm
people-
glad
Wait.
I waited. I waited like 2 years to watch it. I watched like 2 years after the hype was gone, and I watched it. And I'm like, good movie.
I'm telling you guys right now, About
it been-
Time is going to be in the top 20 movies.
Wait, you've never seen
So-
Whiplash though?
No, I've heard it's awesome.
That's one you gotta watch.
What's that one
one's
about?
So good.
It's Miles
The-
Teller, right?
yeah. the
Just
drummer.
becoming a drummer.
He's kind of like anxious or something, or depressed.
All of the
He
above.
becomes-
And he just like
You
lets
might-
it out
you
in the
might-
drums.
Oh, I guess this was 3 years ago. So About Time was 2013. So
Over here though, do you guys like the Creed movies?
I think Creed 2 is way better than Creed 1. I have yet to see Creed 3.
I haven't seen
obviously not good enough to make you want to see the third one
Yeah,
in the
they're
trilogy.
okay.
But
I
it's
just
pretty
didn't
good.
need it.
You were fulfilled with the
I
second one?
just did it. I was satisfied. I
The
was
second
Creed
one is
satisfied.
great. I think the second one
The second one is good.
it'd be like if my daddy beat your daddy. Gosh. It's gonna be every single movie.
Number 65 to 100,
Gosh.
the Marvel movies.
So-
This one is very, I think, is super underrated.
Yeah. I think so as
Conceptually,
well, yeah.
like I think it stands its own, like with Inception type movies, with
Yeah.
with the idea of it.
I just don't. Why didn't it get enough attention?
Because it was too hard to understand.
I think that's a big part of it. I think a lot. It just went like you know who I went and watched it with? Bubba and Mitch. Me and Mitch were like, what? Bubba was like,
I bet it also
I
had
don't
to do
know
with.
what that we was talking about.
I bet it also had to do with what other movies were coming out at the time.
Spotlight.
What is this one?
They're like uncovering the Catholic Church and like the,
Oh, the like
scandals?
sex traf- or
yeah
like
the pedophilia and the like rapings in the Catholic Church. It is crazy. It's crazy. These could replace the Star Wars movies as like the greatest
Are you being
trilogies.
serious?
I'm dead serious.
I've
These
only
are good
seen
movies.
the first one.
Really?
Oh,
I
these
haven't
are
I
seen
like
the
these.
The original.
Wait,
with
there
Matt
is
Damon
a
was pretty
funny
fire.
line in one of these that's not meant to be. I'll have to think.
no,
of
it's
it.
the character
Most
in the,
of the lines in this movie.
in the third movie, I think.
That's
Wait, what
The
happens?
monkey they meet in the cage.
Yes. No,
Yeah,
in
what
the
happens?
house, abandoned house.
Yeah, and he's like, he just talks so funny.
Yeah.
Where's this?
There were a couple.
Here's the sweater.
Yeah.
They think it's like a person.
Okay, so this is a problem me and Kenyon have a lot of times because we go to movies with them a lot.
So you guys are addicted too.
I just don't have any money to pay for this.
I wish I could be addicted to that.
Yeah, but
I'd love to go to the movies with you guys.
Okay,
You have kids, different circumstance.
so it's on. We usually go Tuesdays, so the movie theater is packed. And
You guys can come whenever you want on Tuesdays.
Appreciate the
it's-
invite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
come.
same.
Just know the invite's
How
there.
How about last time Quinn goes, we're going to a movie with Kenyon and Rachel. And I said, oh, I never get invited to fun things. And then Kenyon texted me, and I saw Kenyon text me, oh, maybe he invited me to the next movie. Bro said, do you want to come film me in my flag football game? I'm like,
Sir.
sure, I'll come. And then you pull your
So
hamstring.
you're saying
yeah.
you feel like the problem is because the movies are just too packed?
No. I was saying the problem that we have is the movies are packed, and the movie's going, and there will be a part in the movie that literally the whole movie theater is silent, and me and Kenyon are
Just dying
busting up laughing, and it happens so often that it's just like,
You guys got to stop going to the movies.
no.
We have to have the girls want to sit by each other now in the middle, so it's a lot harder for me and Quinn to.
You guys are like,
Actually, that's the best Star Wars.
I was gonna say
Yeah, it was
when we were
very
talking
good.
about Star Wars, this is a great movie.
Told you guys.
It is. It really
But
is.
the problem, I've realized this, and my wife hates it. But I love movies where every character's dead by the end.
You just get closure.
Yeah, because it's like, hey, I don't have to worry
worst
about what's
kind of
happening.
closure, but it's
But you know
What's
what
wrong with
happens.
You guys.
You don't have to worry about what happened to that girl. Oh, she died. So
Yeah,
we're
no,
good.
but then like half the time,
It's like The Last Samurai. The Last Samurai is great because they all die.
yeah.
I mean, for a lot of other reasons, but
yeah, but then you're like,
you don't cry at the end if they're all not getting lit up by the machine gun.
I actually do love that in a movie when like everyone is thinking, oh, there's no way this character dies.
No, but that's what I was.
And then he
say.
dies.
The
I
main
actually
character
love that.
always
Yeah.
stays alive though. In those ones, everyone but the main character dies.
True.
So it's a little predictable.
Wait, in this one, I thought this one the main character dies. Does the main
I think
character die?
everyone dies in this.
Yeah, it blows up.
Yeah, they blow up the whole base.
They all die right there in this scene.
But you just know that the story continues through the characters that aren't in this scene.
A
You
lot-
guys remember how it should have ended?
Yeah.
I don't
The
know why it just
animated
made me think of
ones?
that. Yeah.
Those are pretty funny.
I wonder if they still make that.
My favorite ones are always the Hobbit ones, where the Eagles just take them all the way to wherever they're supposed to be. Like, yeah, I don't know why that's kind of a
biggest save ever.
okay. Finish this up. 5 more.
Something wrong with this freaking list.
There's no way this is the number one.
Okay, now we have to rewatch them and figure out how these movies were all related, because there's something.
I gotta see.
These are like the top 100 movies that were made in
Let's see. What did IGN say?
Canada or something.
They said, with the 2010s coming to a close, let's take a big sweeping epic look at the great decade for movies, and it's like
It's just
Black
the
Swan.
decade. Still,
Still,
Gravity was not the best.
It was just
movie
her
of the
floating
decade.
around in space
Between
for 2
2010
hours.
and 2020, that's the best movie you could come up with.
What was number one again?
Gravity.
No. Gravity was
Oh, it
100,
the
which
guy with
we
the
are.
diaper on.
It's floating.
Yeah, this dude.
How did we end up here?
What should pause it? What is Black Movies?
Birdman.
Birdman.
So we are for this is we're certain this isn't the
They
best
just
movie.
threw. Are they alphabetical? No, that
Hard to
doesn't
tell.
work.
Is Birdman number one or Gravity? Who knows? The music video?
No, the song that was in.
Can you sing it for him? Sing it for him.
Oh, that was a fun
Sorry,
activity.
Casey muted my mic. You guys didn't.
I
hear it.
did not mute the mic.
For what? Selma.
Selma.
Well, what's crazy is he
Pretty
did it
sure
the
your
second
computer
fastest.
is
It
getting
took him
blown
12
up
years
with
to do it.
viruses right now.
Yeah. Exit.
What are we doing?
Escape.
This is just the
Virus.
These are the top 10 grossing. So Black Panther, Frozen 2,
Okay, I would say
Furious.
Frozen 2's soundtrack
Avengers.
hits different.
You think Frozen 2 soundtrack better than Frozen 1?
Oh, but just better than Frozen 1.
That's actually pretty clean.
Into the end. That song is so fire. Get Jane singing that song, you will agree with me.
Dude. The Lion King. I see that coming. I thought that was pretty much a waste of 100.
Still never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
It's the same movie.
I wanted to.
That was a
ruin
waste
the
of
original.
$260 million. Oh, Jurassic World. You would have put any of the Jurassic movies on your list?
No.
Yeah, me neither. That's sad.
Force Awakens.
Is that the first one of the new ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Is
know,
it?
Can you guys read in Roman numerals?
Well, that's 7.
VII.
And Avengers Endgame. Crazy.
When was this list created?
This was created. Well, the article.
You okay, Kenyon? Tapping out? You done?
No, I'm
The
great.
article was published in 2023, so this is the 2010s.